How's it going, people? My name is Eric Piccioni, and I made this channel to document our process to financial freedom in the most raw, unedited way possible to try to keep it as authentic from dome to phone. So there's a lot of topics that we're going to cover. I try to make this on a consistent basis. I used to do it on my blog exclusively, but I wanted to do it here in more of a video format to show the emotion and like real time lessons that we've learned. So this video is the lessons that we learned in August 2023, what we're going to apply moving forward, what we learned, what did work, what didn't work, and everything else as well. Sort of like a end of month recap that I could watch in the future with my family, and also you guys might be able to learn something along the way. We can collaborate, share ideas, and all that fun stuff and grow together. So first thing, the thing that we learned is, or experienced, is we had a vacancy in our bottom unit. So we house hack. We rent out one of the, we rent out our basement on an Airbnb and like long-term rental sites or midterm rentals for a month, under 12 months in that range. So we just had a month-long vacancy starting in July till now. We just had someone move in yesterday. So that helps out tremendously because our mortgage isn't the cheapest. It's just about $3K. But we live on an amazing property. Like, we love this place so much. But them coming in, it reduces that by about half. We also rent out one of the storage units that we have in the back. It's like a shed. Someone parks their car there. We make about $100 a month from that. So a lot of different things that we do to earn some income. That was pretty cool. That was a really good feeling. So they're here for 3 months, and we'll earn basically half of our mortgage in rental income. And it's really nice property. It's really nice, setup. There's a gym in there, so it works really well, and that's really cool. Second update is we are selling our vending locations. If you have been following along for the past couple videos, you have seen that I started the vending business back in January, a little bit earlier, but I had my first location live in January, and we're going to be selling off our machines on site at the locations for two reasons. One, the plan for us is to move out of the country, not to go too far into it. We're gonna be moving out, so we're trying to get pieces in play for that. That I did a video on that yesterday, so you can watch that. I'll also link to it up here. But if you have been following along, you've seen that I've been into the business. So twofold. Again, we're moving out of the country, trying to recoup money, but also like sell at a multiple, and also to give us the freedom of taking the cash to move on to the next stage. So just real quick, diving into the vending industry. I really enjoyed the vending industry, and I think it's a great way to earn some income. I'm not like ragging on the vending industry as a whole. I think apples to apples, comparably across most assets that you can invest in, it's one of the best ones. Like, if I'm being genuinely transparent and just truthful as possible, it has provided our family with an incredible opportunity to create some cash flow and fund other passions that we have, other things that we've been interested in for some time. And it really does provide a lot of benefits on the cash flow side. Now, equity side, that's another conversation. You don't really gain equity. You actually lose value over time with these machines. But that being said, the way that we built this route is we landed some higher quality locations, some not so high quality, and the plan right now is to sell off the slower accounts first, get some cash so that we could recoup, and then go from there. So traditionally, the way that it works is you can sell your accounts for 10 to 15 times what you're making a month in revenue. My mindset is, if it's a slower account, I would like to sell it at a, whatever I make for 10 months plus the equipment cost. And the equipment for this one location is about 4K, 4 to 5K for two machines. So I'm going to sell it for 5K, just recoup the entire investment that we put into this location when we first started it. So essentially, we are at net zero. So we didn't make or lose money. We might have made a little bit of money with this location, but nothing crazy. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a nice business model nonetheless. Even with the slowest location, like, we're still going to be having no out-of-pocket expenses for that, which is really cool. With the other locations, we have another one that's making about 250 to 300 a month. Nothing crazy again, but based on the estimates, I would sell it for like a 12x multiple. So I'd sell it right. I could sell it right now for like 3,600, like 4K, but I would like to sell this location for like 6 or 7K because it's at a location where there's 112 employees. It's a pretty high traffic place, but the sales just aren't coming through, and it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm not too beat up about it, but I would like to sell it for at least 6 or 7K. I would try to list it for 7, and if I get it for lower, then that's great. And then the other locations are even better. So I have 2 apartment complexes that each of them make $750 to $900 a month. My best location out of the 2 apartments makes about $1,200 a month now. So I would bundle them together because they're managed by the same exact company and sell them at a package for about 20K. Because if I'm making 1,200 plus, 700 and some change, you're looking at 1,900. I would just say 2,000 a month. Sell it at a 10 times multiple. You have 4 machines that comes with it, so you can sell it at $20,000. And you add that together, you do the math, and you're looking at 20,000 plus the 5, and 5 to 7. We'll just say 5. So selling it for 30,000. I got all of those machines when I first started this business for 20, and to make $10,000 profit, like from sales, plus all the revenue that you've made throughout the past couple months, pretty nice. I don't know what our total profit would have been, but it's like 35, or sorry, if I were to sell it for the price that I mentioned, we would likely make a net of 20,000, I would say, during the 10 plus months that we've been operating. And that'd be interesting, right? Once we finalize all of that. And we've got some other locations that potentially want machines too. So there's other plays that we can do there. So that's what we're currently working on right now with Vending. Just to double down on what our earlier mention is, we're going to be moving out of the country. That's prompting a lot of these adjustments right now. Because of that, we are trying to, I guess the main point is we want a better quality of life. So we're trying to get rid of all the things that we're tied to. So what we're going to do right now is renovate some things around the house. We have some bathroom things to clean up, some cosmetic fixes, but also functional fixes. There's some leaks in the pipes. The previous homeowner did some wonky jobs. We tried to repair it a couple months ago. It didn't work, so we're going to do it again. And other cosmetic fixes like the kitchen, the other things around the house, just to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, is what we're going to do. And we're going to get a realtor to come in and give us an idea of what other fixes might make sense. Preferably people that are experienced in renting out facilities for homeowners. That would be awesome. So we'll get an idea of what works, what doesn't, what might make sense, what might not make sense, and really just try to make sure that we can provide the most valuable place possible, but also have it at an affordable but competitive rate for an apples to apples comparison. So as far as that goes, the other update, little off the wall, I have a sports brand that I've made, website, social media pages, all of that. That's growing really well right now. I'm averaging about 300 subscribers on YouTube a month. It is peak season. It's football, so a lot of people are going to be following along with that sport right now and learning. But at the end of the day, it's really cool, and it's nice because my YouTube revenue is coming in pretty heavily right now. I'm making about $100 a month. Nothing crazy, but that plus my blog, plus my book sales, and any other revenue tied to the sports brand, it's like $200 a month. Not bad, right? And the cool thing is it's all, quote unquote passive. I've already built up the content, and it's just a recurring revenue stream, and I don't really have to manage it. And then I've got some affiliate partnerships that I have, and those come in, that could potentially be another $100 here and there. But I have a high ticket affiliate sale product that I recommend for people, and that's every time that comes in, that's like $250 in commission, which is really cool. Ideally, the bigger this thing gets, the more often that those would come in, because if I could add like $250 to $500 in revenue a month, that would be stellar because the margins are great. I don't spend much time managing or operating that page. So the other two things or 2 points that we've learned, come across, figured out is the importance of doubling down on your highest income producing tasks. So I used to do 10 to 15 different things, and that was a big no-no, because what would happen is I would get so divided across all of these different tasks and responsibilities that I wouldn't focus on the one or two things that were earning the most amount of income. So what I've done recently is, with my sales job that I work right now, I've doubled down completely on that because that's the highest revenue source that we have. And if all I do is focus on how to grow this and how to expand this, that's a pretty good use of time, because you don't have to spend as much time on non-essentials, right? So how it works currently, it's like I have my work schedule between 9 to 5. Typically, I'm going to spend all of my time on my work, and then outside of those hours is my content and everything else that we're doing. So, this, for example, is what I spend my time on when I'm not fully immersed in work and I have some free time. And then the other part that has been really helpful for us is just focusing on our goals and doubling down again on the things that are important to us. So what's really cool and what's really magical, not everyone has a spouse, but if you do, this is even more important, is my wife and I focus on our goals. We write down goals for the year. We don't really do weekly, monthly, quarterly goals, 6 months goals, or whatever. And it works perfectly fine for us because the goals that we're going for are not small achievements. Like, these are big ones, paying off all of our debt or moving out of the country. Like, these aren't tiny tasks. And, a lot of it is revenue focused or big, like, scary goals. And that has allowed us a really unique growth aspect, because we used to just sort of be the type of people that would let things happen and just, as the universe allows it, it'll happen, or whatever that mantra is like, if it should, it will kind of mindset. And I've said, the hell with that. Let's focus on the items and actions that are actually going to bring progress, and that's by doing. We're just going to be action takers, and if it happens, it happens. But if it's not, it's just a matter of time of being patient. But we're not going to be as passive in the way that we see opportunities, because when you are on your heels all the time and just waiting for things to happen, they rarely do. I think success comes to the people who earn it and are putting in the work to get themselves into a position. Of course, there's people that work their ass off and don't get themselves in those positions, but it comes down to like your network, who your relationships are with, what you're spending your time doing, because I would rather be productive versus busy. So on the things that we are productive and are yielding better results, we're going to focus most of our time on that. So one example is how much time we spend with like groceries and things of that nature. We don't really have a crazy expensive plan that we do. We typically get most of our groceries delivered for the most part. So we're very mindful of our time and what can yield, again, bigger results. So for us, goals has been a really, 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 really important thing for us to hone in on. And that provides our North Star. So we can filter all of the things that we're doing and say, hey, out of the 5 things that we're looking at right now, which one aligns perfectly with where we want to go in our life, with our goals, with our passions, and whatever we had set forth. And if it aligns, then we do it. If it doesn't, we don't. It's for us, it's a pretty simple filter right now, because it really clears up a lot of the BS. And it's like, does it make sense to do this thing with where we want to go? And if it doesn't, again, we don't do it. So that is the bulk of our updates for this month. And within that, leave me some comments on your thoughts, maybe some ideas that you've come across or things that you've experienced. I'm always happy to collaborate and talk to others who are on the same path. But this is the month of August 2023, and I will see you guys again soon. Peace.